Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, does Kawhi Leonard need to channel his inner Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro community, which is launching by this Thursday, I believe so be on the lookout for that. It's a fantastic platform. I'm very impressed with it. I think you guys are going to be extremely impressed with all of the features that it's going to have for you guys, and you guys are going to be able to get tremendous value from it. And I haven't seen anything out there quite like it at this stage from a company this small to be able to put out something at that level. For me to be speaking about it like this lets you know that it's something that's very, very good. So be on the lookout for that. And we're definitely going to keep you guys posted on that. And I think it's something you guys are going to really enjoy. Anyway, let me get into the topic here. So all of you guys know Kawhi Leonard is my favorite player currently playing in basketball. I just like the guy. He's like the third generation of Jordan and Kobe Bryant, right? Jordan had this way of playing the fadeaways, the defense, the jump shot, the walk, and he had that thing about him, right? And then Kobe just mirrored himself after Jordan. Like, Kobe was a carbon copy of Michael Jordan, and he was the modern day Michael Jordan, right? A lot of players said that he's the modern day Michael Jordan, and he was like the Jordan for their era when he played. Like, everybody knew that. And Kobe had this thing about him where he had this like kind of aura around him, and you saw he was probably the most popular basketball player in the world behind Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant was immensely popular. It wasn't even funny. I know some people think LeBron is popular, but Kobe was more popular than LeBron. If you don't need to look any further than when they were playing in that 2008 Olympics, and go hear about the stories about when Kobe went to China. It was absurd. Even Chris Bosh and all of these guys, he was like, "Listen, Bron, I know you guys think you're popular, but this dude is on a completely different level. He was a global icon. Let's just be honest. It is what it is. He was a global icon, and I think his passing made that very clear that he was a global icon. He was one of the biggest stars out there as far as athletes and icons in the history of sports, not because of just how he played, but also his message and what he left behind, his legacy, which goes beyond basketball, but the mentality that I think so many people in the world could identify with and buy into. And you don't need to be an athlete to be a part of the Mamba mentality. Goes beyond anything that he did on the court, and that's the reason why Kobe was so endeared even after he passed. And he's, for sure, in my opinion, I think probably one of the top 5 most popular athletes, or top 10 most popular athletes to ever live, and probably in the top 5, in my opinion, if you just go look at his global impact. That's that. And they all, and Kobe, Jordan, and Kawhi, they all play very similarly, right? But Kawhi learned a lot of his offensive moves from Kobe because he trained with him. Simple, plain, and period. We all know the story. During the All-Star break, Greg Popovich asked Kobe, could he stay in the air of Kawhi? And from that point forward, they got close and they started training. When Kobe went on ESPN First Take after his retirement, Kawhi was one of the guys he gave the nod to. He said, Kawhi plays exactly like me, likes to play from the exact same spots as I do. Dribble going left or going right, bump, pull up, a reverse spin, fade away over each shoulder. The same thing, right? They pretty much have the same game. He's just as now Kobe and Jordan are better than Kawhi, obviously, especially offensively. I don't even think that's a question. But they're almost just as good as Kawhi on the defensive end. Now, Kawhi Leonard is a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, but Jordan and Kobe both made 9 all-first defensive teams, and Jordan also has a Defensive Player of the Year. So the major difference between these guys, however, is their mentality and their approach to basketball. That's their major difference I'm seeing. Kobe and Jordan were flat out killers. Flat out killer. These guys wanted to take your heart out of your chest. Like, they wanted to humiliate you. They wanted to embarrass you. And they would go at teammates in practice. There's so many stories of them going at teammates where they would just chew guys alive. Like, they would eat them alive, right? And Kawhi Leonard gave a story of when he played against Kobe Bryant during the All-Star game, and he won the All-Star game MVP, the Kobe Bryant All-Star game MVP, and he was talking to Shaq and these guys, and they're like, do you have any funny stories that you like to share? And he, about you and Kobe, any anecdotes? And he said, listen, once we were in the All-Star game, and Kobe came over to him and asked him, he was like, what's the most amount of shots you've ever taken in a game? And I think Kawhi Leonard said at that time, like something like, I think he said something like 19 or 20 or some 25 or something like that. And Kobe said the most shots I took in a game was 47 shots. And Kawhi was like, all right. he was like, okay. Now, what's the purpose of that story? That story is a summation of the Kobe Bryant Jordan mentality. These guys, it wasn't just about, oh, they shot a lot. It was that they believed that they were the number one option to shoot. Like there was no one else better than them to shoot the ball, right? They trusted no one to the level that they trusted themselves, right? That's why Jordan said in one of his clips from the Last Dance documentary, they asked him, who's taking the shot in the last, who's going to take the last shot in the end of the game? He was like, me. That's a stupid question, right? And this is the difference between these two guys. Another thing is they never cheated the game. There were so many seasons where Jordan played full seasons. So many. Same thing with Kawhi. With Kobe. So many seasons he played full seasons, and you had to bend their knees to get him off the court. Kawhi Leonard, for the past 3 years, this is the first time he's playing back-to-backs. Right now, some people said obviously he has some degradation in his knees, and that plays a role. But now he's playing. Right? So is it a shift in mentality? We haven't heard anything about any issues with his knees. So they were different in that regard. Jordan and Kobe have attempted at least 20 shots per game in a season, at least 12 times in a career. Kawhi's never done that except in the playoffs. That's when Kawhi Leonard goes to that Kobe Jordan type of level. And that's why 2 years ago when he was with the Toronto Raptors, he had the third highest scoring output in the history of the NBA behind Michael Jordan and LeBron James. So Kawhi has that in him, but he saves it, right? And Jordan and these guys don't save it. It's not a switch that they turn on in the playoff. The switch is always on. Like that's the difference with these guys. It's always on, right? So when you see a scenario where two of their starters on the Clippers in this case have been injured, these guys are already in attack mode anyway. Right? So it's not like something like, okay, time to be more aggressive. These guys are always aggressive. And this is the thing that I would like to see more from Kawhi Leonard, to just be more aggressive. Now, last season, during his first season with the Clippers, there was a stretch when the Clippers were going through some injuries, and Kawhi Leonard went on a tear. I think there was a stretch he scored like 6 or 7 games in a row where he had like 30 plus points. And I was saying to myself, I think he threw up a 40-pointer in there at one stretch, or like a 44-point. And I was saying to myself, I didn't know Kawhi Leonard could score to this level. We did a video about it just about a year ago, and he just went on this tear, and it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to see, and that's the Kawhi we need. That's the Kawhi this Clippers team needs. Because listen, for them to win this title, LeBron and these guys ain't going away. LeBron at 36 years old is still trucking on. Like last night, they played an overtime game. I think the game before he played like 40 plus minutes in that game. These guys ain't going away, man, because these guys are chasing their legacy. And I think Kawhi Leonard needs to be more aggressive like he was last season during that stretch. And channel his inner Kobe and Jordan. Be more of an a-hole. Who cares? Like, it's not about being liked. It's about getting results, right? And if the teammates understand that your major reason for doing this is to get results, they're going to respect you and they're going to love you in the end. Go look at the Last Dance documentary. See what those guys were saying about Jordan. Even now, Kobe is past. Kobe was notorious to get on his teammates, especially Pau Gasol. Matt Barnes said that Kobe used to go at Pau sometimes in practice. Where Matt Barnes had to go talk to Pau Gasol like, man, hey, are you all right? And now look at Pau Gasol. He's one of the people up there that was so broken when the guy was gone. Now he's an uncle to Kobe's kids. So Pau Gasol doesn't hold any resentment against the guy. He doesn't hold any resentment against him because he knew he was doing it for him to get better and for the betterment of the team, right? Nobody is going to hold it against you if your intentions are pure, right? And in this case, pure, I mean for the best interest of the team and for winning, right? No one is going to hold that against you. And I think Kawhi Leonard needs to channel more of that Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan inner dog in him. That thing where they would take any little slight as a reason to just come at you and rip your heart out. Any little thing they would use as an excuse to get back at you. And that's what Kobe and Jordan did, and that's what I'd like to see Kawhi Leonard do. He is perfectly capable of doing that because I've seen him do it before in his career. And now I think he needs to just ramp it up a little bit, given the fact that Paul George is kind of day to day. The Clippers are kind of going through a little bit of turbulent air at the present moment right now. I think it's time for Kawhi Leonard just to bump it up another notch and kick it up to that Jordan and Kobe Bryant level, which he's very well capable of doing because he has the efficiency, he has the game to back it up. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think Kawhi Leonard needs to channel his inner Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, or do you think, listen, there's no way he's going to be able to do that? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the next video that we have coming up. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamers Pro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.